Hi you guys, my name is Guru Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. Today is what you've all been waiting for, is the third eye and spiritual awakening versus weed or ganja or marijuana, whatever you want to call it. Um, I feel like I had many questions about this in the past. How does basically weed affect a spiritual awakening? And I feel like I don't give enough credit to smoking weed for my spiritual awakening. Because I did forget that I was very lit. um, as I was meditating and I had my Kundalini awakening, I was on cloud nine. And I don't really touch on that a lot, but I do feel like we should get into a deeper discussion of how smoking weed kind of affects the spiritual awakening, because I feel like it may indeed infect or spark a spiritual awakening, because a lot of people are reporting cases in which that happens. But I received a question from a lovely subscriber. I think I pronounced her name Akon Lewis. She said she had an experience in the woods on her own, and all of a sudden she went into deep meditation. It was the best. It was the best, and she truly believed that she cracked open her third eye. So that was similar to my experience as well. Well, not in regards to the third eye, but I'm gonna get more into the third eye aspect of it. But during my Kundalini awakening, I went into a deep meditation one day, just meditating on my bed. Um, and when I was high, it was the deepest meditation I've ever had. So I do think meditating while you smoke is incredible, as far as getting a more into a more in depth meditation. She said she wanted to know if it would happen without her needing weed. Okay, wait, because she truly believes she cracked her third eye open from smoking and going into a deep meditation. And she said she wanted to know if it would happen without her needing weed, or can she still smoke because she enjoys it? Okay, so in my opinion, and everyone's different, and I'm not gonna say I'm like this know all guru, but I do feel weed helps you get into it alters your state of reality and your consciousness, and it gets you to levers much quicker than you can on your own. And I even kind of like I go into this thought process of noticing my differences, my difference on reality when I'm high and when I'm not high. When I'm high, I feel like I'm leveling up on all these different conscious levels that I've never seen before, and I obviously can't get to those levels just being straight sober. So I do feel like we kind of gets you to those levels that we can't on our own. And as far as opening your third eye, I do think weed can affect your third eye directly. Because I heard a lot of friends and a lot of people close to me, they stay high because they said that their perception of reality is a lot clearer. It actually helps them to tap into their seat of intuition um, much quicker and faster, and makes their intuition stronger even. I've heard many cases of where people who feel like their third eye is wide open only when they smoke. And I agree. I do think smoking opens your eye, and I do feel like that's a lot of why people smoke all the time. Not maybe not for the case for everyone, but I do feel like weed and other drugs are regulated because of that reason, because it does kind of warp our perception. It kind of makes us think for ourselves and see shit differently and tap into our intuition and so forth. I feel like the government or society wants to regulate that because weed kind of makes you think outside the box. For example, it makes you think for yourself. A lot of people become philosophers when they're high. It affects everyone differently, but I know a lot of people who become very great philosophers and start thinking outside the box when they're high. And shoot, I'm trying to stay on track. But I do feel like the government regulates that just because of that reason. Like, if you have a bunch of people who think outside the box because of weed and all these drugs, then you can't have a bunch of clones that can be controlled. So I do feel like it does affect the third eye directly in that means. As far as like, she wanted to know if she could ever open her third eye without being on weed. Yes, I feel like you can open your third eye without having to smoke weed. It may be a more natural approach though, like you'll meditate and you'll focus on that center with the color indigo, and it may take a little longer perhaps to get to that level that you're used to being on with weed. But let me see. Yeah, it may just I feel like it just may take longer, but again, this is just my thoughts on it. So can she still smoke cuz she enjoys it? Um I feel like this is kind of like where your individual choice as far as like spiritual awakening and weed comes in. For me, when I first went through a spiritual awakening, for example, I had to slow down on weed because my perception of reality was changing so much at a fast pace, and weed was kind of adding on top of that stress for me. But for you, if it enhances your reality, if it gives you the effect you want and you get what you want out of it, then I don't see why not. Like, why do you have to, stop smoking? Um, she said a lot of people she hears a lot like from people that it's okay or it isn't okay to smoke weed while, you know, trying to open your third eye. um but sorry, getting distracted with comments. She says a lot of people say that it isn't okay, and then some people say it is okay to smoke weed. I think it's just preference. Like for me, in my spiritual awakening, open my third eye, I was already seeing too much crazy shit. So adding weed on top of it would have stressed me out a little more. Whereas some people, it may calm them down. Like I've heard people who use weed to medicate their gifts, meaning it kind of makes their intuition dull a little so they can handle it, but others, it enhances their intuition. So I think to each his own, really. And see what else. But that is a tricky one because I feel like weed was kind of mixed into my spiritual awakening, so I can't really fully say like, oh, you can crack open your third eye without weed. I'm sure there's people who are on YouTube who have videos of them having spiritual awakening and their third eye experience without using weed. But I just so happen to have been on cloud nine when I was going through my spiritual awakening. I just think it definitely does get you in a deeper state of meditation. But if you guys have more, I hope this was like relevant enough because I'm just going by based on my experience and people close to me. But I hope this is relevant enough and kind of informative or relatable even. But if you have more questions on this topic, I'll be more than happy to try and answer it for you. Let's see. So World Peace said, "You're the greatest. Continue teaching. Smile." I suck at smiling. But thank you for your compliment. And says, do any of your tattoos have anything to do with your spiritual growth? At the time, when I was young, like 18, like fresh out of high school, I got all these tattoos. I want to say like within a 1 week period, like I was just going on a rampage, like rebelling. But the one that I can kind of say has spiritual significance is the snake, because as I was saying in my Kundalini, preparing for a Kundalini video, before my Kundalini awakening sparked, I saw a bunch of synchronicities of snakes, like art pictures on the walls everywhere I went of snakes. I got obsessed with snakes, trying to get a snake tattoo, and I ended up getting one. And you know, some of you guys already know Kundalini is like snake energy. So I ended up getting this in an obsession, and shortly after, I had the Kundalini Awakening. And I even went to a metaphysical fair where the lady, I was walking around, and one of the mediums there, she said I have snake energy. So that was just confirmation, you know, that you know, I had a Kundalini Awakening, and I had this, you know, snake energy and stuff like that. So now I can say that it's a spiritual tattoo. But whereas before, I was just getting tattoos when I was younger. The other ones was more so from my grandmother that passed and so forth. And I have one that says "One Love" here, so I guess in a sense that's meaningful. Said, wow, I see butterflies a lot. The only thing I know about butterflies and synchronicities is that it represents transformation, and change. Trying to see. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I can answer them while I'm live. I hope you guys are having a good day. It looks like it's finally sunny outside in Florida. But I'll free talk for a bit. I'm trying to get to Hawaii, you guys. I don't know if you guys ever been there. Trying to see if I can touch on anything else with like marijuana and spiritual awakening. Well, I think that's it for now, but if you guys want to know more, okay. Thank you. I actually feel like my grandmother is my spirit guide, so I'm fortunate enough to have her presence with me all the time. But yeah, so there you have it, you guys. I'll probably be on live later. So someone said, sorry, you guys, I'm stuck at reading these URL names. It says, hope you have fun in Hawaii when you go. I hope so too. I got offered a job there on a cruise line, and so I'm going through all the finalization of the steps right now. It's like I didn't even want to tell you guys until it was like finalized, but yeah. I got offered a job there, and then hopefully I can move over there after I'm done with the cruise job. You guys ever just have it somewhere where you felt a calling to? Hawaii is just one of those places, and I feel like I believe in the vibe attracts your tribe thing. Like just because you're born somewhere, like I was born in Florida, I don't feel like this is where I'm supposed to be though. Like I feel like everyone has their regions where their vibes kind of flow better, and they have like their soul families and stuff like that. Said, take the job, go for it. I'm trying. The whole process has been nerve-wracking because I'm not used to really going for my dreams on this type of level. Like I've been very diligent though with it, and, like, you know, pushing through. So if there's anything else you guys want to know, today has just been a brief topic on spiritual awakening, and weed, and third eye and weed. Valissa says, what is happening to me because I am having a lot of synchronicities with numbers. Okay, so first of all, what numbers do you see often? Because I usually can read numbers being a medium. Let's see. Synchronicities are usually confirmation from the universe that like they're just your angels and stuff are just talking to you. It started freaking me out at one point. But now I just got used to it. But I see synchronicities back to back to back now, and it was weird. It gets weird still, but it's just part of the process of being awakened. And your angels say hello, basically. World Peace says, how did you get into tarot card reading? A lot of what I'm into now got sparked by my spiritual awakening. Meaning when I had a spiritual awakening, I was researching like crazy. And so I kind of stumbled on a lot of metaphysical things like the healing arts using crystals, and tarot cards just slid in there out of nowhere. And it was very odd for me to kind of own my gifts because one, you don't see a lot of like where I'm from though, like you don't really see a lot of black women or black people at all using tarot cards where I'm from, and I was being kind of judged for it, so it took me a while to kind of like put myself out there with my gifts. And like even now people kind of look at me crazy, but some people are way more accepting than I thought, and there's actually more people of color than I thought doing it. Melissa Pender says 111-222-10. Okay, the numbers that she sees. Well, what I get from those numbers is change is near, partnerships and alliances, and balance. So you just have a lot of choices and decisions to make as where you want your life to lead and how you want to balance things. Like you may have to let go of people, places, and things that like no longer serves you, and keep those close to you that matter. And you might have choices between like who you want to date or who you want to have in your vicinity. Be mindful of who takes up your time and energy. I don't know if that's relevant, but that's what I kind of see from those numbers that you told me. And then I'm getting from my channeling like balance is nearby. So if you've been worried about that at all. The synchronicities are common and you're okay. Like it's nothing to be freaked out about if you're freaked out, but yeah. So any more questions, you guys? I'll probably stay on for a little bit longer till I have to go. I'll probably be on live later tonight. I always say that, but I feel like at night people can more people can come on. World Peace says, great answer. You are here to help save the world. I think you are a hero. Well, it's like I'm actually very hesitant to use my voice and to talk about my gifts and spirituality, but I feel like my guides on a daily basis push me out of my shell, and I have to speak upon things to help others. But I do enjoy helping others, though. But I think, but thank you. I'm just gonna stick around for a little more. If you guys have any more questions. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I'm gonna come back later. I'll probably make a whole live about spiritual awakening, third eye, Kundalini, all in one video. We could speak for like an hour almost tonight. So think of your questions now and hit me up later, or leave it in this video now and so I can apply to it later. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace. Be dope. Be you.